Well, howdy, donkeys. Look at the sponge bus. Have you seen a sponge bus before? I hadn't. It's so random. Lol, so random. Anyway, it's your boy. Excuse me. Thought I'd do another vlog, maybe. Give some backstory on myself. My eye still feels weird. I'm going to try not to do that a ton in this episode, like I did last time. But, I don't know, I'm American. I'm from a pretty typical American town, so got a lot of cult shit here. A lot of creepy Christian stuff. It's mainly what we got. Definitely got a lot of like half-ass thug people who come in here. A lot of time, like about 89% of our crime is not from anyone who's from here. I think a lot of small towns specifically are like that. I've definitely heard of some small towns that are just like bad places themselves, but mine is not. It generally gets that rep though. People like know this is like, a bad town. They think it's all so sketchy. It's really not. It's just we got so many sketchy people flooding the fuck in here. With their bullshit. I mean, I'd met that, what was his name, like Jerry Girachi Jr. fucking spaghetti spook guy was trafficking kids because, I mean, in typical gang fashion, like, he wasn't doing his own dirty work. He had, like, little girls trafficking guns and drugs for him, and prostitution, because, duh, I mean, that's ultimately what they want them for. We've definitely had more shit like that. I mean, there was a whole ass bar that I know damn well they were trafficking in there, because, like, the one time I went there, it's like, there was two little girls, one 14, one 13. I know because I met them both later and they told me about it, but even back then, like, you could tell just by looking at them, like, why are these schoolgirls in here bopping around in their little skanky clothes? That's weird. And yeah, people were peddling meth in there. That was the big thing. It was meth. I know who was doing it too, and like they had some barn somewhere that they like broke into, an abandoned barn that they were just making their meth. So that's funny, and I never really heard of them getting busted, but the place did close down, so I think they just honestly ran out of money, which is funny. Even with all the trafficking that you do, like, you don't have enough money to keep your cute little bar open. That's funny to me. What other kind of dumb shit do we have here? And we got an ice cream place called Sugar Daddies, where the only people hired to work there are also, like 13, 14-year-old girls, and they're all required to wear booty shorts. Yeah, that's definitely not on the nose at all. And they've been open for what? Like 15 plus fucking years? And I guess we're just like not gonna look into that or do anything. The manager takes their tips too, which I know is straight up illegal. But whatever. We've got a couple other bars that have been closed down that I'm confident was the same thing. They had little girls going in there, trafficking their shit, who got bribed off the street. We got trap houses around, so that's generally where it starts, I think. The girls are lured into the trap houses. They're bribed or groomed or drugged into doing whatever organized crime type shit. And yeah, our local cops aren't doing anything. I've never known our local cops to do anything about anything. In fact, I'm confident they're in on it. They're at the very least getting bribed to not do anything, but, cops have gangs too. I've known cops who were bikers around here, so they were obviously going to turn a blind eye to all the child trafficking, the drug trafficking that these types of people are known to do. So yeah, that's the kind of shit I had to grow up around. I didn't have much of a childhood outside of video games. Like, luckily, like, video games was, like, the one thing that, like, yeah, I can at least say that I had a childhood for that. But outside of the video games, man, like, not really. Even with my best friend, like, he grew up around pretty much the same shit, if not worse. Yeah. Yeah, it's a rough life. I'm just glad I was always smart enough to not get brainwashed myself. I started watching South Park when that came out, so I was like 4 or 5. And, a lot of people probably think that's harmful because, like, oh, it's an adult show, kids shouldn't be watching that. First of all, like, a kid, especially a kid that young, you're not going to understand all the like dirty jokes and stuff. So like to me it wasn't a dirty show at all. All I saw was the themes and what was being taught to us in each episode. And one of the episodes, the early episodes, it was teaching us about brainwashing. And immediately I recognized what they were talking about because, yeah, I'd been dragged to church as a kid and they tried to brainwash me there. They'd sit us down, have us watch VeggieTales while, every once in a while they'd pull one of us back. I don't think I was ever one of the ones pulled back for anything. It was usually the girls, and in hindsight, I'm sure it was just another trafficking thing. I don't see why church people wouldn't be molesting children. Like, they tend to do that. But yeah, I remember sitting there watching VeggieTales, sitting next to some other kid. All the kids except me were like entranced in VeggieTales, and like a fucking zombie whenever they were called to go back with the weird old church official people. Like, they would just get up and go, no question or fight. Like, they just went, and it was weird. And I looked at the kid next to me, and I'm like, are they brainwashing us? And he just kind of absentmindedly looked at me like, and then just kept watching. I'm like, okay. And I think I just spent the rest of the time like playing with like a dime that I found on the ground or something. Like, I was always naturally good at triangulating like that. I think that's why I wasn't brainwashed, because I immediately recognize when someone's manipulative, and like my brain is just shut off to them. Like, they can't do anything. I would definitely have to be one of the people that a cult would have to just like physically force to do whatever they want, because they can't brainwash me. In fact, there's a lot of people that can't be brainwashed. I'm not going to get into it deeply, but like anyone who studied sociology, you know what I'm talking about. Excuse me, that's why brainwashing isn't the only thing the cults do when it comes to, getting people to do what they want, because not everyone can be brainwashed. In fact, I think most people can't. I think it's only really the naturally like super gullible people, of which I've definitely known some that like, yeah, they'll just go along with what the fuck ever you say. So hell, I would question how much brainwashing is even really a thing, because I feel like the people who are brainwashed are the people who are only like naturally inclined to that. But I kind of digress a bit there. And yeah, I myself got into some trouble, luckily not too much. I've mostly just been a weed smoker throughout my life. I don't now, but yeah, I've definitely dabbled with some drugs that I shouldn't have. So that's bad. That's why I ended up in jail when I was 16. Another victimless crime, but I'm not a cop. Fuck that. Still can't get over this sponge bus. I know it's super random, and I know that my vlogs are probably like, I don't know, because I get that I'm casually just like spewing out a bunch of crazy shit, but this is what I grew up around. It's not crazy to me, or it is crazy. I know it's all crazy stuff, but I guess what I mean is like, I'm obviously desensitized to this stuff, you know what I mean? So I'm not really like shocked about any of it. We also had a guy who, what was it? It was like a little coffee shop / like art studio bullshit thing that got closed down recently. That like, yeah, this guy was trafficking coke at the very least, but he was a groomer too, so I wouldn't be surprised if he was also involved in the girl trafficking that was going on. So it's funny. And yeah, I met some of these like mob guys who come in here, luring girls in, and like they fit every single stereotype, okay? Like, every way that you imagine a guy like that to be, that is how they are, as far as I know. Everyone I've ever seen anywhere, they're fat, they're stupid, they're ugly, they smell really, really bad. And I'm not even someone who's sensitive to smells or like really squeamish, but like, I shit you not, you can smell these guys across a street outside. Like, that's beyond BO at that point. That's chemical warfare, Why the fuck do they smell that bad? And yeah, they're just like rude, shitty people in general. they play that tough guy thing. They're definitely hyper masculine, and like a lot of hyper masculine men, I feel like they're definitely like not only latently but also like very deprived homosexual. These biker guys are too. I've never known biker guys who weren't like that. They definitely like to overcompensate with their prostitutes. In fact, yeah, as far as like mobsters, gangsters, bikers go, I've never known any of them to get laid if it wasn't for some prostitute or another. Like normal women don't go for guys like that. Like if they are getting laid from women who aren't prostitutes, it's because they're raping them. That's what's happening there. So yeah, your Donkeyboy's been around some shit. I think that's part of why I myself don't take any fucking shit, because I don't know. You can try to like roast me or swear at me, do whatever you think is gonna shock me in some way. I don't know how much would shock me at this point. But yep, here I am, and of course I've been one of the scapegoats in my hometown. Like, you know, what's that saying? No good deed goes unpunished, right? Yeah. Yeah, being a do-gooder in this world gets you endless shit, but yeah, you can be a trafficker, you can be a prostitute, you can be a killer. Like, I'd be surprised if you ever even got arrested. Because as far as I know, most people getting arrested are not criminals like that. They're just not. Because cops don't have the balls to do shit about the actual criminals. I'm not afraid to say that either. But, oh yeah, it's not a very LGBT friendly town because of all the Christian shit, I'm sure. It's all the Christian shit, because, yeah, I think I said it before, but I'll say it again. Like, the one bad thing about this town itself is all the weird Christian bullshit people. Definitely got a lot of cultists, but outside of that, yeah, like most of like the straight up crime is done by people who were half-ass thugs, didn't make it in their own cities, wherever they're from, because they weren't gangsters, so they had to come to a place like Wellsville where they're not being immediately contested. Yep. Yeah, I don't spend much time there anymore. But I definitely got some friends there. There's good people there. I'll go there, like the library specifically. Definitely got some friends there. They're nice. Never been into any dumb shit. One of them is a lady who actually isn't from here, which is surprising. She's the one person I can think of who's not from there, who is not a piece of shit. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of poured my heart out there, or not really pouring my heart out, because I'm not getting super personal still. It's just like, yeah, I'm a smart guy. I know what happens around me. You can try to hide that, but you're not gonna. It's pretty easy to tell underage prostitutes when I see them. It's easy to see, oh, people are trafficking drugs out of like this one public restroom specifically, because everyone who goes in there comes out tweaking to shit. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's one funny thing about criminals that I find. They all think they're so sneaky. They're not, dude. Like, any halfway intelligent person who's paying attention can easily spot any fucking criminal, dude. Like, I've worked a lot in restaurants, and like, yeah, they're the worst business as far as like the grooming, the sexual harassment, assault, whatnot. So yeah, I think every or almost every restaurant I work in, there's been like obvious trafficking type stuff going on. Underage girls being groomed and drugged and bribed, whatever, into being prostitutes and hustlers and whatnot. It's just so common because no one's doing anything about it. I'm going to leave you with one sociology fact to think about. The most common crimes that people commit are the ones that they most easily get away with. So, all the sex crime, in America, all the drug crime, specifically, like, yeah, people are doing that a lot because no one's doing anything about it. Like, if our legal system was actually like punishing people more for being rapists and whatnot, then you wouldn't see it as much. But you know, they're not. Like, we just saw what's his face, like fucking Diddy. He got what, like 4 fucking years for what he was doing, and he was like hunched over, like crying in the courtroom. Like, bitch, that's fucking nothing. 4 years for being a child trafficker on top of all the other weird criminal shit he was doing. 4 years. And he cried for that? Fuck him. I can't believe it, but I doubt any of you even watched this video this long. So I guess I'll end it here. I've got some tasty vlogs though. I feel like a lot of you are gonna appreciate it. A lot of you won't, because a lot of you are getting called out in my vlogs. But I don't really care. This is me. This is my thoughts about the world and the place that I grew up. And if you don't like it, then you can just not watch my vlogs. I think my Let's Plays are more safe for the sheltered normies who don't want to face what this world is. So you can just, stick to my Let's Plays, if anything. And I'm going to keep doing what I want my vlogs, man. These are good. They're kind of old school, but there's still a lot of vloggers today that I really like. So, but anyway, I make these kind of long, so I guess I'll go now. This has been your Donkeyboy and Sidekick Sponge Bus. Peace.